Hey guys, and welcome back to A&J Education YouTube channel. In today's video, my colleague James Milford is joining us to talk about what makes UCL, University College London, so special. So if you're considering applying to the UK, to London, and considering UCL as one of your universities, keep watching. All right, James, good to
see you.
Good to have you back. So, James, you went to UCL for undergraduate. No doubt there are some pros and cons, as with each university. So, what would you say makes UCL different to others? Why should someone consider going to UCL?
So for me, four main virtues stood out when I was looking at universities to apply to.
UCL not paying you for this video, are they?
No.
So you can be assured this is completely unbiased.
Yes, yeah.
Opinion.
The first one is a bit of a low-hanging fruit, and it's not unique to UCL, and that's the fact that it is London University, right? So it's in a fantastic location as well. It's in the centre of Bloomsbury, so you've got Oxford Street and you've got Soho on your front door. And then also, a lot of students will live in Camden as well, which is a fantastic alternative community in the north of London. So, of course, other London universities have this same virtue, but UCL in particular is so well located that you really do have access to loads of fantastic resources nearby. The British Museum as well is just on its doorstep. The second virtue I think is that when you join UCL, you're not just part of that university, but you're part of a larger community of London universities.
Okay.
And
it's not always obvious, when you
No,
apply.
exactly. Yes, yeah. So to a certain extent, there is some sharing of resources. So for me, I'm particularly interested in logic. I read philosophy at undergraduate. And by the end of my second year, I'd taken all of the logic courses available at UCL, and I'd done quite well in them. And so I was granted permission by the philosophy faculty to actually take a course at the KCL philosophy faculty. That's one advantage. So you've potentially got access to other courses at different London universities, and you've got access to their libraries as well if you're granted permission. And you can, of course, get in contact with the academics there. So that's another great virtue. The third virtue, I think, is just the rich history of UCL. So founded in 1826 as the first London university, it was the first university whose admission process was entirely secular. That is to say that one's religion didn't matter at all to their application.
It's kind of crazy that's what this only started happening
Yes,
in
yeah.
1826.
Yeah, well, and also it was the first university to admit men and women on equal terms as well. So you've got this fantastic, rich history, and it's I feel proud to be a part of that community and to represent UCL going into the future now. And then finally, I think, UCL itself brands itself as the global university. It has an incredibly high percentage of international students. And so that's beneficial for two reasons. One, it exposes you to a wide range of cultures and really opens your eyes to different ways of thinking about the world and different traditions and how people live their lives. But also, if you're an international student, there will be a home for you at university. There will be some home comforts. You can join a society. There'll be people of a similar background and similar outlook. Both you can get home comforts, but then you can also challenge yourself and be exposed to these other cultures.
Wow, that sounds like quite a place. And for me, I guess number 5, just purely pragmatic, but UCL is actually one of the best universities in the world. Consistently being in top 10. Again, depending on which ranking you read, but there are always biases. But consistently has been in top 10 in some of the rankings globally, not just in the UK. So. There is a lot of street cred, if you can say.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Great. James, and would you say, again, if we just expand on this subject of London universities, because people who go to King's say King's is the best, people who go to London School of Economics will say is the best, people who go to Imperial, of course, will say Imperial is the best. But objectively, do you feel UCL has any unique features that those other top London universities do not?
As I've said before, I think it's a combination of its rich history and its positioning in London. And I think it would, to a certain extent, depend on the subject you go for. But certainly, philosophy, my subject, was incredibly highly ranked.
No. Of course, yeah, it makes sense. So, if you're looking to study medicine, probably the best place in the country, or one of the best places in the country. So it depends on the subject. Great. Well, guys, if you're still, after watching this video, not submitting an application to UCL, then you should close YouTube right now. And this was a complete waste of your time. But I think for most of you, who watch this, you should become a bit more excited about UCL. Certainly, I am. Sounds like a fantastic place to be. Rich history, loads of departments. Some academics who are top of their game. The big dogs in internationally, not just in the UK. So do consider it. And for now, James, thanks so much for your time.
Cheers.
Cheers.